You ever spent your life thinking you've done everything right, and yet everything seems a little bit off? There's something you're craving, and you don't know what it is. You got the job, you hit your targets, you built a life that was as if it was a life you dreamed of. But there's something beneath it all, and you can't explain it. You just want something to change. And what most people do, they start to chase something, but they don't know what it is that they're chasing. Could be a new role, a new job, a new girlfriend, a new boyfriend, a new car, a new house, a new country. I've changed countries, I think, I've lived in 4 different countries in my life. Enjoyed every one, but don't really know why I decided to move. I've chased qualifications. Later in life, I got a degree. I then got a master's. I then did another master's. I then decided that wasn't really good enough, so I did a PhD. Really useful. I enjoyed doing all of that study. At the same time, I was missing out on what was important, which was the present. I was always looking towards the future. And nowadays, I help people with emotional problems they have. And a lot of people are always planning 2, 3, 4, 5 years ahead when life is going to be great, when they've got the good job, when they've got the kids, when they've got the nice partner, when they've got all the qualifications. And the older I get, I realize you need that happiness, you need that fulfillment right now, not tomorrow. That may never come. Yesterday's gone. So what makes so many people focus on the future and they miss the enjoyment which you can have right now? One advantage of being my age, you suddenly realize that the youngest I can ever be is right now, this very moment, this very day. Every second, I'm getting older and older. I can't go back to my youth, and neither can you. But we can enjoy, hopefully, what you have right now, if you allow it. Another problem which affected me and many people I now speak to is they're like in a little bit of a war, not with other people, but with themselves. I recently wrote a book on the different voices which I've been grappling with maybe all my life. Nothing too serious, but I came to realize that all these voices telling me what to do, what not to do, telling me I was crazy, telling me, yes, give it a go, were all warring voices. They were all doing their best to help me. And what I hadn't realized in life is that I need to help these voices mediate with each other. Then life becomes far, far easier. And this sign of craving for something you don't really know, it isn't a sign that you need more. It's a sign that something inside you, maybe one of these voices, isn't being heard. As I said, I've lived in 4 different countries. I was living in Spain until about 4 years ago. In Spain, I probably did have it all. Still do have nice accommodation overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. I was only a 2-minute walk away from the sea. Some fantastic bars, some wonderful restaurants, great transport system. Everything was perfect, apart from the fact I was missing something. And I never really knew what it was. That life had become far too easy. You go to bar, not only every night, every morning, every lunchtime. Thankfully, I didn't drink much alcohol. I was more into coffee. And then over the years, you'd see some of your friends beginning to die. You got a little bit sad, and I thought, I'm here really for a late retirement. I'm there to rest. I'm here to enjoy the sea, the tourists, etc. And yet, I'm not ready for retirement. And one day I had the opportunity to leave Spain and come for a little holiday to the Philippines, where I now spend most of my time. And unlike Spain, which is a relatively safe country, the Philippines, apparently, as far as natural disasters is concerned, is the most dangerous country in the world to live in, according to recent research. Only a few nights ago, there was an earthquake where I live. I was really calm. It was kids outside shouting, other people looking extremely worried. For me, this was an adventure. And unfortunately, 2 nights later, there was a bigger earthquake, probably about 150 kilometers away, where people were injured. People did die. That brings back the reality of living in this sort of a country. It also tells you, though, how important it is to live right now. I'm not saying you don't plan the future because, yeah, you have to plan financially. You have to plan for family commitments, friend commitments, that sort of stuff. But I think you should do that secondary to living right now because we never know when your last day, even your last minute, can be. I witnessed people dying in a bomb attack once, a car bomb. None of them knew. Literally, they were entering the last seconds of their lives. And I think those who died were probably all in their 20s, suddenly gone. So learn to enjoy what you have right now. I spent time as a carer. I didn't really have to be a carer, but I decided to keep a promise I'd made to my late father. And when my mother got ill with dementia, I looked after her for about 3 years. Incredibly difficult time as a single man then to be looking after an elderly lady. She was nearly 80 when she died. But it's something I knew I would cherish. I was creating wonderful memories with that woman who looked after me for a long time. And the only thing I'm truly proud of in my life is that I kept a promise I made to my dad and I looked after my mum till the end. I'm still very grateful for those memories, even though I'm telling people, think about the now, enjoy the now. Those times gave me the wonderful memories. And even where things were tough back then, I was thinking, this is a time I will look back on and it's going to be full of wonderful memories. I was actually enjoying those experiences, waiting for carers to come and help me, waiting for home helps to come and help. I built lots of friends, people I became reliant upon, people that became friends for life at one of the most difficult moments in my life. Because I was living the now, I didn't know when things would change. And maybe you should do the same. Don't forget, you're not broken. You're just not listening to your own personal needs. If you're thinking of that house in a year's time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, if you're thinking of retiring, where you're going to be living, if you're thinking of getting the degree, getting the PhD degree, whatever it is you want, fantastic. But don't let that hope for the future spoil what you have right now. You can get a great job without a degree, or at least you can get money without a degree. Maybe not a great job, but a lot of people do. A lot of people set up their own business. That's a very different way of thinking. And they do their best. The good people I know, by good I mean successful, not necessarily financially, although a lot are, but successful in that they're not craving for anything. All their needs are fulfilled. They have true contentment in life. And don't forget, the answer to your needs, it's not outside. It's not going to university. It's not having a great holiday. The answer is somewhere within you. Only you know what it is that you're craving. And one way of finding out what you're craving, get away from the social media. Go out to a park, go out to somewhere remote, take a pen and a paper, reflect on your life, reflect what you really want to do, and then maybe journal it. Write down what you've learnt from the experiences. The good things that have happened to me in life is when I was just by myself thinking and thinking about nothing. I spend a lot of time in coffee shops just thinking. I like to go to coffee shops by myself. I don't want to talk to anybody. For me, it's reflection time. And the amount of ideas, it could be educational ideas. I teach an awful lot of people, mainly online nowadays, but elsewhere as well, face to face. I reflect on ideas, what I can use to help the next client. And most of my clients, they're speaking to me for personal development reasons, giving them more emotional strength, helping them move on, helping them to remove the craving or at least find out what it is they're craving about. And most importantly, helping them find purpose and meaning in life. And I think to do that, you need time out. You need to be by yourself. I used to do a lot of peace building work. I met some incredible people, some with backgrounds that were, well, soul destroying, the pain people have gone through. Some with backgrounds where you think, why am I in front of this person all by myself with no security? This could be dangerous. Some of those people were wonderful to me. The information, the trust they gave me, I will never, ever forget. And then I didn't do that for a few years. I ended up, say, living in Spain. I'm now in Southeast Asia. Last year I was on a holiday, ended up in Vietnam, and then also went into Cambodia. When I was in Cambodia, there was a bit of a military skirmish broke out close to where I was. People were killed. This was military firing rockets, leaving landmines around on the border between Cambodia and Thailand. And I suddenly went out to a nice little cafe place. I had a book with me. I started to write. And something was telling me, asking me, Marcus, you found what it is you were craving. You should go back to that type of work, trying to help people. And that sounds as if I'm a really good person, philanthropic, trying to help people, which I do like to do. I love to do when I've changed someone for the better, transformed quite a few people, thankfully, in my life. But the person, the main beneficiary, has always been me. And doing the peace work, which I'm now doing again, helping people who've suffered from serious conflict, is giving me my meaning, my purpose for being here. And this all came from being in a very different country, very different environment, with a little notebook and a pen, just writing ideas that came into my head. And I think being in Cambodia for a relatively short period of time has probably changed my life. Maybe you could do something similar yourself. Have a great day. If you want to know more, just join my mailing list. Ciao.